WCBI News at 10 starts now.
A semi crash brings traffic to a crawl on a major highway. Thanks for joining us this evening. It happened in the westbound lanes of Highway 82 just before the Macon Meridian exit. A semi carrying peanuts overturned in the Meridian. Now, traffic was backed up for miles as crews worked to clear that scene, and as of 9:30, traffic was still backed up. Now, it's unclear if anyone was injured in that crash. The Mississippi Highway Patrol is investigating. A crash on a stretch of the Natchez Trace Parkway in Wayne County, Tennessee, claims the lives of two area teens. Rangers say a Dodge Charger was driving north on the parkway when it left the road and hit a tree. The driver and an 18-month-old were both taken to the North Alabama Medical Center. Two passengers, 18-year-old Rayshawn Ewing of Prairie and 19-year-old Denisha Townsend of Okolona, were both pronounced dead at the scene. That crash is still under investigation. Now, Rangers say that they've seen an uptick in fatal crashes along the trace in Alabama and Tennessee. The former president of a Monroe County youth football program, is going to prison. Matthew Householder admitted he stole thousands from the Hamilton Pee Wee football program. Now, this case developed back in January of 2016 when parents say they noticed funds appeared to be missing. Following his guilty plea, Householder was sentenced to 10 years in prison and ordered to repay over $19,000 to the Youth Football League. Starkville police arrest a man they say is accused of shooting at another person. 18-year-old Jacavius Goss is charged with aggravated assault. Now, police say this all stems from a Sunday incident at the West Side Market on West Side Drive. Now, Goss also faces a carrying of a concealed deadly weapon charge. This incident is still under investigation. Investigators are building a capital murder case after two bodies were found in a creek behind a Calhoun County home on Wednesday. Christopher Keel and Trinity Hastings are charged in the shooting deaths of Kendrick Armstrong and Sherry Turner, both of Bruce. Keel is charged with capital murder and is believed to be the alleged gunman. Trinity Hastings is being charged with accessory after the fact. Now, bond for her is set at $250,000. No bond has been set for Keel. The Jussie Smollett case is fueling questions about whether real victims of anti-LGBTQ hate crimes will now be forward. Courtney Ann Jackson has been asking that question today. Here's what she learned.
It doesn't matter.
Reverend Brandolyn Mangum Deer is a pastor of a church in Hattiesburg and is among those in the LGBTQ community concerned about the potential impacts of what police say was a fabricated story by actor Jussie Smollett.
It could cause people to look at the situation and say, you know, oh, well, look at the LGBTQ community. They have to stage hate crimes because it doesn't really happen, and it discredits the entire community.
Mangum Deer says she's been on the receiving end of hateful comments on social media as recently as Wednesday.
It happens every single day here in our state. Do you report it? Who do you report it to?
The Human Rights Campaign notes that while the FBI does collect data, there are issues at the local and state level.
There is no mandatory reporting of hate crimes.
Mississippi's hate crime laws currently cover crimes against someone because of race, color, ancestry, ethnicity, religion, national origin, and gender. This year, advocates tried to get sexual orientation, gender identity, and disabilities added to that list.
Allowed them to be able to prosecute that on the statewide level without having to wait for the FBI, the federal government, to step in Mississippi to prosecute those crimes.
But those two bills failed at the state capitol. Meanwhile, the community still fears instances of discrimination following the 2016 passage of the Religious Accommodations Law.
It's like a waiting game and waiting to see if someone is harmed, how badly they are harmed, if they will even report it. It's like we're all in limbo, waiting for something tragic to happen so that something good can come of it. And that is, that's a terrible way to have to live.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Time now to toss things over to meteorologist Jacob Riley with a first look at our forecast. And Jacob, sadly, I think you're going to tell me rain is still in that forecast.
I know, Scott, don't be mad at me. I can't control the weather. I'm just going to tell you what it's going to do. But it is still raining right now in Tupelo, unfortunately. Has some slick roadways out there, so be careful. Rain is ponding on the roads out there. Currently sitting in the 40s, even coming in at 50 there here in Columbus. So a little bit warmer. We have a flash flood watch out for our area until 12 a.m. Sunday for counties in Mississippi. It expires at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning for our counties in Alabama. That heavy rain is continuing tonight, Scott. Coming up a little later in the show, I'll let you know when we could have a severe potential move into our area.
All right, thank you very much, Jacob. Well, we continue our Black History Month series Made by History with a look at the role of historically black colleges and universities created after the Civil War. HBCUs were established all across the South to educate freed slaves. Today, HBCUs continue to be a nurturing environment for higher education for many African American students. Our Andrea Self has more.
It's a different world, ooh, and where you come from.
During the late 80s and early 90s, the hit NBC show A Different World gave the world an up-close look at historically black colleges and universities through its depiction of life on the campus at the fictional Hillman College.
Hello, my sisters.
Whitley, you look great.
That's what I look.
And for graduates of HBCUs, the sitcom hit the nail on the head.
The first thing when I arrived at Tougaloo, it seemed like it was a totally different world from which I had come. You had white faculty members, black faculty members, you had faculty members from India, from Germany, so the faculty was very diverse, and that was something that was totally foreign to me.
Dr. Walter Conley, a retired school superintendent, attended Tougaloo College, a small private institution in Jackson.
My aunt was a Tougaloo grad, and my principal, Mr. E.L. Wicks, was a Tougaloo grad. And they got together and decided that I was going to go to Tougaloo.
I had the fortunate influence of stepdad who went to Jackson State, and he took me to all the games early on. And so I knew, basically like my 8th grade, I knew I wanted to go to Jackson State.
Nadia Colombe is the chief executive officer of the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Golden Triangle and a proud JSU grad.
The Jackson State University, because I love, my dear old college home. That's right.
Colombe says when she arrived on campus as a freshman, she knew right away she was at her home, away from home.
I mean, it felt like family. That was the main thing that, struck me. Everybody seemed just so familiar with each other. People say it all the time, but it was really true. You aren't one of the numbers. Your professors know exactly who you are.
The same was true for Dr. Conley.
A lot of the teachers knew us by name, so it was quite nurturing.
But he also recalls some turbulent times. His Tougaloo years were during the Civil Rights Movement, and leaders in the movement found a safe place to share their message on that campus.
We had like Dr. Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, Robert Kennedy, and all of those people. Those people could not visit the state-supported institutions.
I, too, chose an HBCU to continue my education, Stillman College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Right here on this campus, I grew up a lot, I learned a lot, and I embraced the importance of serving others. Getting involved in student government and service organizations like my sorority was encouraged by leaders on campus. Conley says service was also instilled in students at Tougaloo and points to a well-known alumnus.
Benny Thompson, who is chairman of Homeland Security, is a Tougaloo grad. As a matter of fact, he is my classmate.
And then there are the cultural experiences unique to HBCUs. At JSU, the band, known as the Sonic Boom of the South, is a phenomenon. Colombe was a prancing J-Set in the famous band.
Those were the best 4 years I could have spent in my life. We got to perform at the NAACP Image Awards in LA, which was huge. My sophomore year, I was in that group.
Both Colombe and Dr. Conley say their HBCU experiences gave them a firm foundation that they continue to build on today.
I really didn't feel like I missed something going to Jackson State. If anything, I felt like I was gaining a new perspective.
I would not trade my Tougaloo experience for anything.
There are currently 101 HBCUs in the United States, 5 here in the state of Mississippi. In addition to Jackson State and Tougaloo College, there's Alcorn State, Mississippi Valley State, and Rust College.
Our temperatures are actually going to warm up a little bit overnight, only getting down to a low of 48. Then as we head throughout the next couple of days, we're really going to begin to see those severe chances go up on Saturday. Coming up after the break, I'll have more on that and let you know when the sunshine returns.
CBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with meteorologist Jacob Riley.
Well, good Thursday night. It's a wet one out there. Taking a look at our Tupelo Skycam, you can see all of the water here on the road. If you are out traveling tonight, take it easy. We do have water and rain falling all across the area. Look at this big area of flash flood watches across the region. Those are in effect across our area, all of our Mississippi counties in green here. You're under a flash flood watch until 12 a.m. on Sunday. That's late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Here in our West Alabama counties, your aerial flood watch actually expires at 6 a.m. tomorrow. However, we are expecting heavy rainfall across the entire area through Friday and Saturday. It'll be noticeably warmer tomorrow, topping out there around 67. Gonna see those rain showers all across the region once again. Could even hear a few rumbles of thunder before all is said and done with for your Friday as well. It's going to be warmer for most of us, middle 70s down south. As you head further north, though, that's where we're expecting the rain to be just a little bit heavier. That's why you're really going to struggle to make it to the lower 60s for your Friday. More rain is expected all across the area. Unfortunately, here are those showers tonight, expected to continue throughout the early morning hours here on Friday. There's that heavier band setting up right in time for your morning commute tomorrow. So as you do head out the door tomorrow, just be sure you're extra cautious out there on the roads. If your windshield wipers are on, make sure those headlights are on too so other drivers can see you. Friday at noon, though, those showers begin to work their way just a little bit further south. And then here later in the day on Friday, looks like those showers try to break up just a little bit, but then more heavy showers and storms move in later in the day for your Friday. However, late Friday night, early Saturday, looks like we could see a little bit of a break before more heavy rain moves in. So between now and Saturday night, much of the area is going to pick up at least another inch of rain. I wouldn't be surprised for some of us to see maybe even 5 more inches, and that's not helpful considering how much we've seen. And due to the increased rain chances and how much we're expecting, we do have a high risk of flash flooding potential here in those counties in the purple, counties in red. You're under a moderate risk, so our grounds are so saturated, it's not going to take much more rain to cause flash flooding to occur. As we head into Saturday, though, this is what we're keeping our eye on. We're going to have a cold front begin to approach our area. That's going to bring an increased chance of severe storms to our area on Saturday. Those areas in the orange here have the greatest chance. Areas in yellow, you have a slight chance. We're expecting tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hails there on Saturday. We're going to continue to keep you posted as this event does grow closer, but your 7-day forecast looks nice after Saturday with sunshine returning, highs in the 60s.
Looking forward to those 60s. Thanks, Jacob. Well, federal and state agencies are trying to reduce the risks of flooding deaths and property loss in northeast Mississippi. Riley Martin has more on the effort to develop better flood hazard maps for a 12-county area.
As rain continued to fall throughout Monroe County, community leaders, emergency managers, local planners, and others met with officials from FEMA, MEMA, and the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality. The discovery meeting for the Upper Tombigbee watershed was an opportunity to learn more about a FEMA program called Risk Map, which helps communities identify, assess, and reduce flood risks.
So Risk Map is looking to go beyond just am I in or out of the flood zone.
The latest technology to measure land elevation will be used to gather information which can help counties develop better disaster plans, and it could impact homeowners' insurance rates depending on whether their property is in a floodplain.
One of the things we'll be doing is we're using LIDAR, fairly recent LIDAR, which is excellent elevation data, and studies that have LIDAR are much more accurate than better studies.
The Upper Tombigbee Discovery Meeting is not only an opportunity for county officials to get information about the watershed project, it's also an opportunity for those officials to let MEMA representatives know about any flood-prone areas in their counties.
Top priority, of course, is public safety. And there's not only issues with flooding that causes drowning and damage to property, but people can easily be electrocuted if electrical apparatus are placed above the flood-prone building requirements.
That is one thing we're going to be learning, because I'm sure they're going to be doing a lot of remapping, probably new areas that were not in flood zone or floodway before.
Information gathered will help determine which areas of the watershed need mapping, or risk assessment, or other services. In Amory, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
The process will take 3 to 5 years and will involve community meetings, public hearings, and approval from FEMA. We'll throw out the record books. It's rivalry night and conference play. MSU and Ole Miss. Courtney has those highlights coming up later in sports.
WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Bouncing back from a heart attack is not easy, but having a team of professionals supporting you, that can help. We learn more about cardiac rehab in tonight's Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Kayla Pruitt, Director of Cardiovascular Services at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Tonight we will discuss the benefits of cardiac rehab. Your doctor may suggest that you take part in a cardiac rehab program if you have a heart condition, had heart surgery, or a heart attack. You will get an exercise plan that's designed just for you and learn how to improve your habits, like switching to a healthier diet and quitting the tobacco habit if you are a smoker. A cardiac rehab program, such as our certified program, also offers you emotional support. You can meet others who are going through the same thing you are and help you stay on track to maintain a healthier heart. The benefits of cardiac rehab include live longer and lessen your chances of another heart attack, control heart disease symptoms such as chest pain or shortness of breath, stop or reverse damage to your blood vessels in your heart, lessen the physical and emotional effects of heart disease, improve your stamina and strength, getting you back to your usual activities, including work, hobbies, and regular exercise. Improve your confidence and well-being. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Two Magnolia State teams meet in one gym and look for the big win. Catch highlights from the rivalry rematch between Mississippi State and Ole Miss coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
It was at the 7.5-minute mark that two free throws made by Jordan Danbury gave MSU the lead, and for the next 35 minutes, no matter how hard the Rebels fought back, the Bulldogs simply never gave up that lead. It was the first possession for the Bulldogs, and things were getting going in Oxford. Unreal Howard drives and spins in the lane for the bucket, and the Bulldogs leading early by 2 points. Ole Miss responding on back. This time Mimi Reed isolated, crosses over and makes the layup, and she would tie the game up with that bucket. And the Rebs get the ball back yet again. This time Reed takes it to the cup again, switches hands midair for the finish, and again tying that game up. Later in the first quarter, Jordan Danbury with the rock takes it to the rim, makes the shot off the glass, and State leading by 4. But Ole Miss is playing some really good ball in the first, being trailblazed by Mimi Reed as she knocks down this corner three. Crystal Allen with the assist, and the game's tied again. Then to close the quarter, Reed, the crossover move to get around the pick, finds Sandrika Sessom in the corner for the money shot. Ole Miss down by just 1 to end the first quarter. The start of the second, Amber Scott on the drive puts State up 3 with the layup there. And then some more action in that second quarter. Jasmine Holmes drops it down low to Big T, who does the rest, grabs the and one bucket, and the Bulldogs leading once again. Now Maya Taylor finds Tierra McCowan, who shoots over 2 defenders for 2 more. State up by 6 now, and State getting the ball back again. Jordan Danbury catches it in the corner, drives the middle lane for the pull-up jumper and hits it, putting the Bulldogs in the lead by 6. Later, Ole Miss getting the ball back. Crystal Allen gets the ball off the handoff, takes a pull-up jumper herself, and it would hit. And nearing the end of that second quarter, Amber Scott on the drive adds to the Bulldogs' lead with that shot there. And then to close out the half, Jordan Danbury not able to get her shot to go, but Tierra McCowan there for the rebound and the putback. State going into halftime leading by 8, and they would come out to control the second half. The Bulldogs go on to get a big win in Oxford and continue getting 11 straight over Ole Miss. The final 80-66. Tierra McCowan with yet another double-double.
Wish a couple things could have gone better in the third quarter, but when you play in a team like that, you have to have your best game, and you probably with no mistakes, and we weren't able to do that when we needed to.
If I was them, I would make sure those other 11 that are in the foxhole with them are ready every day in practice, every night in a game. That's me being selfish. I would want them to be selfish from that standpoint, because that's what's in front of them.
The Diamond Dogs and first-year head coach Chris Lamona is off to a hot start this season. Even through the weather troubles, MSU so far has 4 wins under its belt, 3 of which were blowouts, but the win last night definitely tested MSU's patience. And it's already back to the field tomorrow as Mississippi State gets set for a 3-game series to Southern Miss.
I don't like the blowouts, but it was good for us to play late. I felt like we just really weren't good offensive. So I'm an offensive guy. I like to hit. I like to have some fun there. But we're not going to hit every day, and we still got to be able to win games. So it was fun to see us get that win and see our closer go out there and really have to compete. I think our kids are really excited about it. We're excited about it. The fans are excited about it. It should be a lot of fun. It's 2 really good teams. Let's hope we get some good windows in the weather. I was really surprised how well the field played today after all the rain we had, and it looked like we hadn't had any rain. Just it shows you how well it drains and how good our grounds crew is.
Well, speaking of the weather that Chris Lamonis just mentioned, the schedule for tomorrow has already been changed. In case you missed it, that game 1 of the 3-game series against Southern Miss is moved up tomorrow, originally at 4 p.m. That game is now going to be played at 2 p.m. As it goes for the rest of the games, those will still be on schedule. We'll make sure to keep you updated if any of those games change. But that's it for sports. Your last look is coming up after the break. Stick with us.
7-day forecast is starting off pretty wet. Looks like we're going to have some strong to severe storms there on Saturday. It's going to be warm, and that's really indicative of those severe storms there. Sunday and Monday, though, looking really nice. The sunshine returns. Then as we head on into Tuesday through the end of next week, looks like we're going to see those pesky rain showers return once again.
We just got to get to Sunday. Sunday is like
we can
picture perfect. We can do this. You're right. We can do it. All right. Thanks so much, Jacob. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.